What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the Nadim X channel. I'm your host Hassan Nadim, and today we got some conspiracy-like type of videos to react to. A lot of these videos, the beliefs of these type of people who are making these videos are kind of outrageous. What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the Nadim X channel. I'm your host Hassan Nadim, and as you know, today we got some conspiracy-like videos to react to. A lot of the videos we're reacting to, I just want you guys to know that sometimes it can go extreme, it can go completely left, even though we're trying to stay on the main frame, you know what I'm saying, the main road. But just know that to do your research, go down the rabbit hole by yourself. Don't go too far deep or else you'll lose your mind. Without further ado, guys, get your chips, get your drinks. I know I got my sparkling water. Today we got passion fruit guava. Last time we had mango something. But yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Let's go.
Scientists just figured out a way to see your dreams using brain scans, and they're literally recording people's dreams while they sleep, and then you can watch them whenever you wake up. So these researchers in Japan just put people inside of an MRI machine. They waited on them to fall into REM sleep, and then they scanned their brains while they were actively dreaming. They woke the people up mid-dream. They asked what they saw, and then they trained AI models to match those dream descriptions to the exact brain activity pattern over and over, night after night. Eventually, they're saying that the AI model now learned how to translate brain signals into visual imagery that you can see. Whether it was faces, buildings, objects, or scenes, they're saying that they were reconstructing what the person was actually seeing in their dreams with over a 60 to 70% accuracy. This requires massive MRI machines, advanced neuroscience labs, and custom AI models, but it works. And scientists are already right now trying to push this further. They're trying to turn those reconstructions into actual dream videos, like a movie that you can watch. We're obviously not at the point where you can watch your dreams on your phone yet, but there are people pushing right now for an at-home device where you can record your own dreams and watch them at home yourself. Some people think that this entire thing is insanely creepy, but other people think this is the coolest invention ever, especially if you can get it at your house.
Yo, that's kind of crazy, dog. I ain't gonna lie. And I think we saw a video like this in the last video, and them trying to, I don't know, something about dreams and stuff like that, seeing your dreams, but recording your dreams, I don't think I would want to do that. I think that's pretty creepy, to be honest, because my dreams are freaky, not in a weird way, but it's very vivid. There's a lot of things going on, and I don't want to watch something that's completely messy, because my dreams are messy. There's going to be no plot, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be interesting, because I know that our Heavenly Father talks to us through dreams and gives us signs and everything like that. And just to see a recording of our dream, we can have more of a collective understanding of what our Creator is trying to tell us. I understand that, but I feel like dreams could be freaky, man. And if you're going to watch over your dreams, you're probably not even going to understand it, you know? Like,
this right here?
So there was this group of women doing a study of the book of Malachi in the Old Testament. And they came upon the 3rd verse in chapter 3, and it puzzled them. It said, "He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver." And they wondered what this statement meant about the character and nature of God. So one of the women offered to investigate the process of refining silver and then get back to them at their next Bible study. So that week, the woman called up a silversmith and was like, "Hey, can I come watch you while you work?" And she didn't mention anything about why she wanted to do this other than her curiosity about the process of refining silver. So he agreed, and she went. And as she watched him, he held a piece of silver over the fire and let it heat up. He explained that in refining silver, one needed to hold the piece in the middle of the fire, where the flames were the hottest, as to burn all the impurities away. The woman thought about God holding us in such a hot spot. Then she thought again about the verse, "He sits as a refiner and purifier of silver." So she asked the silversmith if it was true, if he had to sit there in front of the fire the entire time that the silver was being refined. He said yes, And he went on to explain that not only did he have to sit there, but he had to keep a very close eye on it. Because if it was left a moment too long, then it would be damaged. The woman was silent for a moment. And then she asked, "How do you know when the silver is fully refined?" And he smiled and said, "That's easy. When I see my image in it."
You receive that. I want you to type amen
That's
in the
good. That's good. Like, he sits as a refiner. He's refining us, you know, and he has to watch us continuously. And until he prunes us, you know, he removes all of these bad things in our lives. That means he's sitting there as a refiner, right? And at the end, when he sees his image in us, when he sees us being a clear example of the temple of the Holy Spirit and how we can operate more on the spirit and not on the flesh, then he can see himself in us. It's so beautiful. I love it. I love it.
comments.
This is James Franco. Me, really James Franco.
I ain't no James Franco, bro.
Here at my house. I'm not promoting anything, okay? I'm making this account because, all right, some serious is going on, okay? And, look, here. This is real, okay? I'm real. It's me, not AI, not anything, okay? Could, AI, James, do this? No, could not write this. This is me, okay? This is weird. Okay? For those who know, right? Some serious stuff going on.
That James Franco video was very strange. And I know I can't be the only one out there that finds that to be a little bizarre. What serious stuff is going on or going down? This is very strange stuff indeed. If this is even the real James Franco, maybe it could be AI. I don't know. It's very bizarre how he has another video out.
Or maybe he could just be promoting a movie that's coming out. You never know.
And it says there's nobody listening, as you see right there. And he looks like he is scared of something. So what is really going on here, you all? What is really happening? What is really going down? What is so serious that he had to make that video? What do you think?
You gotta watch this.
Why does the pride flag have 6 colors while God's rainbow has 7? You know, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I personally don't believe in coincidences. On a biblical term, 6 means human imperfection, weakness, and incompletion. This is not a coincidence. I ask myself, why is Pride Month on June? I go and I search and I find that June is the 6th month. I search up pride parades near me, and the date so happens to fall on June 6th. I put all of these things together. 6 colors, 6th month, the 6th day. That would mean it's 666. And if you dig a little deeper, what does 666 mean? What does it symbolize? Failure, sin, ultimate rebellion against God. Well, what is that? That's the mark of the beast. Now, I am not saying that this is the mark of the beast. I'm not saying this is the ultimate sin against God. I'm saying that this is very spiritual and this is very weird.
He's definitely onto something. It is not a coincidence that in the middle of the words pride and month is demon. It's not a coincidence that every single number lines up with the mark of the beast or the number of man. And he went on to say he doesn't believe that it's the ultimate mark of the beast because we know that that'll be on the hand or the forehead. But it is significant, and it absolutely is 100% spiritual. If you want to see more content like this, then make sure you follow now.
Oh man, this is a good one right here. There's a guy in Brazil who recorded what appears to be a UFO from far away in the mountains. This video is quickly going viral on the internet. He posted the video on his Instagram account. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna see if this is a real UFO in Brazil that was just recorded. So you'll be surprised what I found after I did some analysis on this video. So let's check it out from the bedroom.
Hey, you want to see a real UFO?
So here's the Brazilian guy who recorded the UFO in Brazil. But before he did that, apparently there was a weird sound coming from far away in the mountains. So, you know, he was talking about his cows, his animals, and all of that, but he stopped. He quickly stopped and he was just kind of wandering around, right? Because he heard the sound. And as you see right here, he's literally staring at the mountains from far away, wondering about the sound. A very strange sound. So as you can see here, he's kind of wondering what the hell is going on, right? So there we go. There's an object there from far away in the mountains, kind of changing colors, right? Maybe is some type of metallic object or something like that. A lot of people are saying this is a drone, or maybe just a bunch of cars parked in the mountains, or maybe a house or something. But I did a little bit of research, and there's no houses whatsoever, no other farms around that area. He's the only one living there. There's nothing else. So, he kept recording the whole thing, and you can see, yeah, there is something there, right? It's a little bit blurry, of course, but I did some analysis on this, and this is gonna blow your mind. So of course I took a lot of screenshots of the video frame by frame, and I put it on my software Lightroom, and I started messing around with the saturation, the lights, and everything. So I found something pretty interesting here. This is not a drone. This is not a house. This is not a bunch of cars with the lights on in the mountains, right? Because that's what it looks like in the beginning, right? Maybe there's a bunch of cars with the lights on, and yeah, it looks like a UFO. But the more you edit the footage, right, the screenshots, the more you understand that this is an object that is just there, right? It has a bunch of lights on it, and it's you can see it's metal, right? So whether it's some type of alien craft, or maybe it is some type of alien reproduction vehicle, right? Like a man-made UFO from a an underground black project or something like that. Who knows? But this is a real object, and it's there, and it's just, I don't know what the hell it's doing there, but in the middle of nowhere in Brazil. But this is pretty amazing. This video, like I said, is going viral on the internet right now, and I think this guy really caught something pretty interesting here. Not a drone, not a house, not a bunch of cars. This is a real UFO. Like I said, whether it's an alien craft, right, from ETs from outer space.
Bro, I don't even understand why this UFO was stalking my brother in the first place. That dude, he looked like he was living a calm, humble life in the mountains. Like, he wanted to be avoided. He didn't like people, The next thing you know, since he didn't like people, a whole alien came in a UFO and started stalking him. Like, brother, that's far, like, that's too much. I feel bad for him,
Or a man-made alien reproduction vehicle, I don't know, but it is a real object there.
And apparently he was crying. Like, he made more videos about it, and he was crying, scared. Leave my brother alone, bro.
Ring around. So, pretty interesting stuff here. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section about this, because I think if this is a real alien craft, oh my gosh, this guy just got something pretty amazing on footage. Let me know in the comment section about this. And if you like this video so far, please give it a like, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next episode.
He's saying the English language is occultic. I'm gonna just let him cook, play the video.
Your English language is occultic, okay? It comes from Anglo-Saxon, right? English is what it's called. English. Anglo is angelo. Saxon is sexon. It's sect, okay? It means angel sex. It's from the fallen angels that had sex with the women. This is literally where this stems from. And so it's an occultic language. All the old books of witchcraft they have English words in them. Like, the English is a witchcraft, it's witch tongue is what it's called. Okay, so like when you start digging into stuff, you'll be like, okay, this is really weird. Why is it saying these things in here? These things in here that are all English related. Bro, why is it called spelling in our language?
They're all casting spells, right?
It is a spell casting language, bro. It's called, do you know where the word, grammar comes from?
No.
Etymology of grammar. Google it, somebody. Etymology of grammar. It literally says witchcraft, incantations, mumbo jumbo, spells. So like when you study what the etymology of words, your whole perspective starts to shift. Like grammar is from grimoire. Grimoire is the old books of witchcraft. That's what a grimoire is. That's where we get the word grammar. Okay, that's why it's called the Grammys. When people get awards at the Grammys, bro, It's witchcraft. They're rewarding you for witchcraft. Like, that's why it's called that, okay? Program, pro means for, gram means witchcraft. Programming you, programmer. It's programmoir, it's pro witchcraft, it's for witchcraft. Like everything that you're watching, I mean, like the television, they're telling you lying visions, tell lie visions, okay? And it's the channel. In witchcraft, it's called channeling. It's the media, okay? The media that you watch is called the medium, is the witch. When you go talk to a medium, the medium's the in-between, you and the bigs and the littles. You're the little, the bigs are the gods, the Thor and all of them, okay? And then the medium is the in-between. That's the person that goes between the gods and you. That's mediumship. That's why it's called the media.
Wow.
So, dude, when you see it like that, it's like, dude, the whole thing is occultic. It's all a bunch of witchcraft, but we're so naive to it. I mean, Hollywood is the wood that wizards and witches craft their wands and stabs out. They craft it out of Hollywood. It's not like they're telling you what it is. Okay, they're telling you straight up. It's like, but we naively see these things and then brush it off and don't think that, oh, that's whatever. We don't think that's weird.
Am I crazy? Or am I seeing this too? This looks like fingers, right? That's exactly what I think it looks like. A hand or fingers with fingernails. Be prepared to be amazed. Let's just zoom out.
That looks creepy, bro. That's an eye? Oh my goodness. That's a whole eye. That's crazy. I don't believe in space. First off, this is not related to the topic, but that kind of looks like a black hole. Like those black holes that they take a picture of in space. We got a whole black hole in our eye, bro. And those fingers, I don't know. It's like it's containing us. You know, it's like it's holding back something. That's so interesting. It's beautiful. The eye is beautiful, not gonna lie.
This is a museum in Dubai, where a man says he's looking at the first neurochip exhibition where you can use contactless payments for a chip embedded under your skin. Take a look.
This is the neural chip. It's going to allow us to communicate with telepathy, with people, and with robots.
Want to have a conversation with a robot? That's basically having a conversation with ChatGPT. I can do that on my phone. Thank you very much. I don't want to talk to a robot. There's something about talking to humans that just bring me more of a liberty and more of like a connection than talking to a robot, respectfully.
Oh, thank you. I'm here at the Museum of the Future in Dubai. This right here, this system, is the first payment implant under your skin for contactless payment.
This is why it's so important for us to be biblically literate. That means you need to have knowledge of the text. Because whether people know it or not, the Bible is a time traveler, okay? The Word of God, God Almighty, is a time traveler. He knows the past, the present, and the future, which means he prophesies. He sees the future because he's in the future and he's already done with every single variable of every timeline. Now, this particular one, God describes what's going to happen in the end. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a system where he describes figuratively a beast system. This beast is representative of Satan, of the devil, of the fallen angels, the fallen one, the leader of them. And they're going to impute a system where you have to get a mark. And this mark sounds like very much a chip embedded into your skin to where you can neither buy or sell without this chip. Once you get this chip, however, you will no longer be able to access the kingdom of heaven. And the reason why is because I believe that this chip will alter who you are as a person. It will alter your DNA. You will fuse with technology, therefore no longer making you a man or a woman. You will be something entirely different. And Jesus didn't die for something entirely different. He died for humanity. The sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the sons of Noah, the children of Noah with his DNA, his lineage, not Nephilim, not all these others, humans, okay, created in the image of God Almighty. And so when you get this, you are no longer a human. You are something else, some type of hybrid. And I'm sure that there's imputed in that demonic technology altering your DNA. This isn't real at all, you guys. I was just saying this for entertainment purposes only.
All right, guys, I want to explain to you what you're seeing. That's the moon that I'm zooming past, by the way. This little light that just comes into view here, that's Saturn. That's the planet Saturn. You were looking at it with your own eyes, okay? You're gonna ask me, well, how did you take this? How did you take this video? I took it with my Nikon Coolpix P900, the camera that's banned today. I mean, maybe you can get one, but they don't make them no more because they show too much and they go against the narrative. This is supposedly 800 million miles away, Saturn. Do you understand? You're gonna tell me I zoomed past the moon into the darkness and just captured this by accident? And the world is spinning 1,000 miles or 25. The world is spinning and the sun is spinning and the solar system is spinning and all this shit. And yet, here I am focused on planet Saturn, this rock that you think that has a ring around it, this rock that gives off light, okay? Because rocks don't give off light, number one, okay? Only lights give off light. And Saturn is a light. So here I zoom out. and Saturn disappears into the darkness of space. And there the moon comes back into view. So now I'm going to show you the moon. I'm going to zoom into the moon now, 238,000 miles away. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? If Saturn is 800 million miles away, then this is all there is to see on the moon. You think like I could zoom in and like you could see people and footsteps and shit like that? You're fucking mistaken. You're absolutely wrong. You are a million times fucking off your rocker. You don't know what you're talking about. This is not a rock neither. I can't tell you what it is, but I could tell you what it ain't, and I could tell you what didn't happen. Ain't no fucking man walked on that. Okay? Nobody walked on that. And the fact that I could zoom in on all these different things, I could zoom in 800 million miles away, then zoom in 250,000 miles away. You guys have been fucking lied to. Have a good day.
People are freaking out over this claim. CIA is allegedly using DNA sites not to find your family tree, but to hunt down alien bloodlines. That's the actual theory that's going viral right now. The claim says hidden DNA databases could reveal people's so-called Nordic alien ancestry. And now the internet is asking one terrifying question. If your DNA is already uploaded, who else has access to it? Now let's be clear. There's no confirmed proof that the CIA is hunting down alien DNA. But the reason this story is exploding like this is because millions of people already handed over their genetic DNA just to find out that they're 12% Irish or some shit. So what do you think? Is this just another wild UFO conspiracy? Or is the DNA privacy way scarier than people think or realize? Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this down below in the comments.
Did you know that every gyroscope for an airplane is actually adjusted when it is made to be gathering empirical data over a flat and non-rotating surface? So what this means is that it is built and designed to determine if the plane is level with the flat and non-rotating surface below it. So if the globe was spinning at 1,000 miles per hour and we had curvature of 8 inches per mile squared and we were 37,000 feet above sea level, then the gyroscope would have to constantly recalculate where that level is, and the plane would have to consistently tilt its nose down during the entire flight. But that doesn't happen. Go in a plane and you can hold a level up to the plane when it is at cruising speed and it is not tilting its nose down at all. It is remaining level. And the gyroscope is designed to determine your position in space and time in relation to the flat and non-rotating surface below you. This is what every single gyroscope has been designed to do. So why do they tell us that gyroscopes just automatically keep recalculating for level, and that planes have to tilt their nose down, when you can use your 5 senses, you can use logic, and you can determine this for yourself that that is not true. But of course, I made this video entirely for entertainment purposes only. I made everything up. This is satire.
Now this is getting scary. I wasn't even gonna make a video on this, but sometimes you get signs from above that you just can't ignore. Yesterday, a video of a man in Canada getting pulled over went viral. In this video, this man was pulled over, pulled out of his car and detained simply by the request of a doctor. No paperwork, no evaluation, just the request. Watch this.
Taylor saw you in a cafe. She didn't certify you. I think you filmed part of it. And then she spoke with your family, got some more information, and you know, you're gonna have to turn that off.
So just one sec. What the officer just told me is that you know, you and I can set up a meeting and we can chat then. So why don't we do that, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not turning the camera off. I have a legal right to keep the camera on. If you don't want to make the appointment now, we can do it at another time. But you know, that's what the officer just asked that we do. So why don't we do that?
So I'm going to certify you under the Mental Health Act. We're going to bring you to hospital, do testing on you, and you're going to talk to a psychiatrist in a controlled environment because we don't believe that you're going to.
What, bro? My man's just chilling in the cafe, in the parking lot of a cafe, bro. What is he doing wrong? Oh my gosh. Free will on my butt. Free country on my butt.
And an appointment? You've been...
I won't attend. I've never been given a chance to attend an appointment.
I live in Canada, bro. I live in Canada, and we're the only country that's going through a recession, and it's insane. Out of all the countries in the world, Canada has to be the one.
He's certified.
Yeah. I've never been given a chance to attend an appointment.
Okay.
What is going on? I was never given a psych eval or nothing. He just looked at me and said, "You're certified."
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know why, but it's up to the doctor. So if you.
But no, he didn't even give me an eval. He just looked at me and said, "I'm certified, man."
I get that.
Please consider what you're doing, and please think about the fact that I'm more than happy to come in for an appointment. I'm happy to go through and do everything properly. Okay. I've been completely compliant with everything.
Yes, you've been really good with me, Nicholas. But listen, that's his call, and unfortunately, we can't go back from that.
He hasn't talked to me.
You have to get checked out by a doctor.
You're interacting with me at a very...
Now, I know this is Canada, but if you haven't noticed with the flock cameras and the amount of surveillance that's going on in the United States right now, this isn't far. Me, personally, I'm close to the Canadian border, and this is the notification I got on the way to work this morning. It would simply be that easy. Now, how many of y'all got your locations on? Stay safe.
Right now knows that I am speaking prophetically by the Holy Spirit, and you are to sow a $3,000 seed.
Bruh.
And that $3,000 seed, it might be a stretch, it might be out of your comfort zone, but it is an offering to remind God, God, I know that you are about to be the God of the supernatural miracles, and I'm tired of just making it week to week and month to month. And maybe I have to go into my investment, and maybe I have to do this just like Paula did.
Bruh. Says the way we should tithe is giving 10% of our income to the church. And that doesn't seem like 10% in today's generation of people's income. That seems like at least maybe 70% to 60% of someone's income. I'm gonna give you $10, okay? And you're gonna take it.
Just like the widow woman did, just like so many other people have had to do.
Not a fan of this. Let's scripture check her real quick. 2 Corinthians 9, verse 7. Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. So what kind of messes with me here is she's like, I have a prophetic word that you give me $3,000 even if you're struggling right now. That's kind of crazy. We've seen some stuff of Paula White, and she's a very tough one to get behind. I don't know.
She's talking to people like it's the stock market, man. You give me $3,000, you're gonna see a return later on this year. She's talking like she's the stock market, bro. That's insane. But that verse was very powerful. I ain't gonna lie, is give in what Yahuwah puts on your heart and be cheerful for it, you know? That's literally how it is, you know? If you don't feel like giving, then why should you give? If you feel innately that you should give and you feel like Yahuwah is pulling at your heart and tugging at your heart, like give to this person, not only that you're tithing to the person, you're allowing, you're listening to Yahuwah and you're exercising that communication with him, right? That's good, man.
Through this one,
good stuff.
through the asking of $100,000, and then she can't put hands on people unless she gets that $100,000. So I watched the full context of this one. She was actually making a decent point and presenting good scripture until she decided to use all that scripture to basically say, hey, give me $3,000. And then she goes on to say after that, if you can't give 3,000, give 300. So that
doesn't make any sense, and that's manipulation. Manipulation is catering to someone and pleasing them just to get something in return. That's manipulation, bro.
Not get the stamp of approval at all.
According to psychology, the most dangerous personality type, it's not a psychopath or a narcissist or any of that. The most dangerous personality type is called the dark empath. Dark empath carries traits of narcissism and of true empathy, where they can relate to people and they can go through conversations and connect with people. But they also carry narcissistic traits on the backside of that, where they can kind of have a Machiavellian approach to interpersonal relationships.
How would you describe the experience? I know that's going to be hard to do because some of my friends have done it, and when you ask them to describe it, it seems to be quite abstract.
Yeah, it's like if we had some two-dimensional creatures that were living on this piece of paper right here on the table, and one of those creatures figured out that he can smoke some DMT, and that somehow enabled us to peel this two-dimensional creature to where it could see in 3 dimensions and see everything in this room. That's DMT. You're getting peeled out of reality into some other realm. And the weird thing is, every scientist that I know that's studying DMT, not one of them thinks it's a hallucination.
What do they think it is?
I think the more familiar someone is with DMT, the less certain they are about what the hell's going on. But everyone, literally everyone who uses DMT pretty much goes to the same exact places. And they all meet the same entities, the same 7 or 8 different types of entities. And it's been the same for 4,500 years of recorded history with DMT. And DMT is something we make in our own body. It's an endogenous chemical.
Has it changed your perception of what reality really is?
100%. Yeah. It's so much more real than this reality. It's like, it's so ineffable. There are no words that can describe it. But it's 1,000, maybe 1,000,000 times more real than this, in such a way that just coming back to this feels like everything is kind of claymation for a little while.
Claymation?
Or just fake, like a cartoon of some kind. It's just really low resolution. And I come back with no certainty about anything. And I think everybody comes back with that lack of certainty. You're not coming back and be like, I saw this exact thing and here's what it means and here's how the universe was created and all of that. But you go up there and you come back and you're like, something about this plane doesn't feel real anymore. And that is a permanent shift that's hard for some people to make. And you can't unsee that you were kind of able to poke your head out of the side door of the Truman Show and look out backstage for a little while.
So has it made you believe that this isn't real? This reality that we're living in now is not real?
We'd have to define real. But how would you define real?
Yeah, that's a good question. So that's why I paused.
You can touch it. You can measure it. You can taste it, smell it. Would that be real?
Do you think we're living in a simulation?
Then we'd have to define simulation. Because I think every society has this hubris of the universe is whatever's cool to us right now. Electricity came out, the universe was energy. Industrial Revolution came out, the whole universe was a giant machine. And right now everybody says, oh, that we just discovered computers, the universe must be a computer. It's like the hubris of every generation. What I mean by simulation, I think, like, is it rendered in some way by something? I study this stuff all day, every day of my life. And I think that the more discoveries we have in particle physics and quantum mechanics, the more they're proving the Hermetic principles right.
What's that?
These are the 7 ancient principles of this guy named Hermes Trismegistus, also known as Thoth, like an Egyptian guy. They're confused about his name. But he's like, he wrote these first 2 principles are the most important. The first one is all is mind.
All is mind.
All is mind. The all is mind. The universe is mental. And then the second one is as above, so below. And here's how I explained this to my son a couple of days ago. I said, have you ever had a dream where there's like a building in the dream? Maybe there's a house in front of you. And what are you looking at the house with? And he's like, well, my eyes. I said, why? Which eyes are they? Are they your eyes that you're seeing the house with? And he said, no, because you're imagining your own set of eyes to see the house with in your dream. Your eyes aren't there. Your body isn't there. So you're imagining the whole body and the world. And I said, what's the distance between you and that house in your dream? And he said, 30 feet. I said, what is the air made out of between you and the house? And he said, air. And I said, you have air in your dreams? Is it real air? And he said, no, it's my brain. And I said, so is there distance between you and the house? He said, no. What's the house made out of? Me. What's the air made out of? Me. The entire thing is me. The ground I'm standing on, the house, the clouds in the sky. So in a dream, you can verifiably prove that something is real. You can test it, you can touch it, and all of that, and the perception of it is very much real. So the theory now, and I don't have any certainty about this, but one interesting theory that I've heard from many different neuroscientists is like if we look at as above, so below, like a universe spins like a DNA double helix. You can zoom in on a human eyeball and it looks the same as a nebula. What if dreams are this level 1, and this is like level 2 of that, where we're hallucinating distance. We're hallucinating, and I think that whatever the case is, I have no idea. I have no theories about it myself. But whatever the case is, I do think that separation is the greatest lie ever told to the entire world. Of like you are separate from that person, like this, you are separate from this. And how people say, I need to go spend time in nature. Like you are nature. Like that's part of who you are. You're made out of that stuff. You're made out of that.
I just got banned from Israel upon arrival and deported back to America for anti-Semitic or anti-Israel content. I flew out of New Jersey on an El Al flight to Tel Aviv on a plane with basically all Jews and had plenty of pleasant conversations and positive interactions on my way there. Believe it or not, a lot of Jews were excited for me to visit their country.
Where are we headed, boys?
We're headed to Tel Aviv, baby. Are they gonna let me in?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But of course, I was being tracked the entire time, and photos of me circulated in Jewish WhatsApp groups as I was asleep in the middle seat of the back of the plane. 12 hours in the middle seat later, I land in Israel, and my passport scan says to go find an agent. I'm then brought to the back office where my interrogation begins. I tell him I'm here to enjoy the beaches of Tel Aviv, see some holy sites, and maybe do some street interviews asking some of the world's oldest questions, right? He then asks if I'm here to provoke Jews, if I'm hiding anything, if I'm anti-Semitic. I tell him no, obviously. The agent then goes like, you can just be honest, this is Israel. As if I said, yeah, I'm anti-Semitic, that would somehow go over well upon arriving to Israel. But I tell him no, I'm not. I don't hate anyone, and I don't. He proceeds to watch my videos about the Hasidic communities in upstate New York and New Jersey, where I examine how they use welfare to afford 7 to 10 kids. I try to explain the nature of the videos, and he eventually tells me to go sit down while they deliberate my fate. About 30 minutes later, he tells me to come back in the room and states that he's spoken to his higher-ups and that I've been denied entry into Israel due to anti-Semitic or anti-Israel content. I'm then handed a paper that I have to sign, which falsely claims that I've attempted to illegally immigrate to Israel, which is obviously bullshit and I assume was done to prevent me from re-entering Israel for as long as legally possible, despite him telling me the real reason was due to anti-Semitic content. I check Twitter and see that Israel's Minister of Diaspora and Combating Anti-Semitism is retweeting an Israeli news article that claims Tyler Oliveira, the Jew-hating YouTuber, is expelled from Israeli border on the orders of the Israeli minister. He then quotes, "I'm proud to have denied entry to Israel today to an unfortunate YouTuber who is using the harassment of Jews as a way to get clout on social media. Furthermore, let this be a lesson to all haters and supporters of BDS." So I tell the agent, "Man, it's a shame I can't visit the biggest democracy in the Middle East." And he goes, "Well, maybe you can visit Afghanistan." Now for a second, imagine if me criticizing welfare use in black communities in America somehow got me banned from countries in Africa. Or the welfare users in Appalachia somehow got me banned from Europe. This exception only seems to exist when it's regarding Jews. They confiscate my passport, take me to a brief holding room with a bunch of Filipinos, and then tell me I have a flight out at midnight, which is like 8 hours later. Now, it's clear to me at this point that the unspoken strategy is they want the accusations of anti-Semitism they hurl at people like me to eventually become true, to then justify their very accusations. But the problem is, there is no hatred in my heart, and only a resolve to see things as they are. Why am I, as an American, not allowed to question my fellow Americans who happen to be Jewish and how our collective tax dollars are being spent in America, while our greatest ally, Israel, that is the single largest recipient of American foreign aid in our history, then deports me, while their government officials publicly paint a target on my back while I'm still in their country? Adjusting for inflation, U.S. aid to Israel from 1951 to 2022 totaled $317 billion, making it the largest recipient of American foreign aid since World War II. But fun fact, we don't even have a formal mutual defense treaty with Israel. Yeah, our greatest ally is not even technically our ally. For perspective, the US has formal mutual defense treaties with all 32 NATO members: Japan, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, Philippines, Thailand. These treaties legally obligate the US to come to their defense if attacked and vice versa. For these countries, the obligation is a two-way street. But not with Israel. In summary, we've given Israel over $300 billion in cumulative aid. We vote UN resolutions to shield them from international law all the time. We provide them with the most advanced weapons on Earth. And best of all, American troops die in conflicts to uphold Israeli interests, all without a formal obligation for Israel to defend the US. No treaty, no legitimate alliance, and no defense commitment. So, they'll take our money, they'll let our soldiers die to eliminate existential threats to Israel, but I'm the second coming of if I get on a plane to visit the country that's the largest recipient of foreign aid that my tax dollars go towards. I get deported and called a Jew hater by Israeli officials for what? Looking for the truth? Is that illegal in Israel? You know, I think it's about time we examine how a small country of about 10 million people seemingly exert more control over American foreign policy than any other country on Earth. I've refrained from exploring this topic to the degree in which it deserves because I wanted to first report on important topics, boots on the ground in Israel, before I was inevitably banned. But now there's nothing to lose. I'm basically perma-banned from entering, so why not get messy and have some fun discussing perhaps the most important political topic in our lifetime.
No one's gonna do it. Someone's gotta say it. Ancient China was insane. You ever seen this? It was a sword with circuitry in it. You ever seen one of those? Puzzle ball made out of one piece of ivory. They invented a paint that has quantum properties, painted these soldiers, then buried them. It's possible they collaborated with the Egyptians because they did it too. But that's not where the similarities stop. The Egyptians carved these vases out of granite. They are hundreds of times more precise than the most intricate movement that your hand is capable of doing. This was discovered by using a laser to measure the symmetry of the object. 8,000 years ago, guess who else did the same thing? Ancient China. Do me a favor and Google Neolithic humans, and then tell me why those guys had a use for a vase that is that precise. China has more pyramids than Egypt, and they're aligned to the same stars. Ancient Egypt, people with long heads. Ancient Peru, people with long heads. Ancient China, people with long heads. This mysterious icon that's found in every ancient culture, found in China. Snake, dragon, serpent worship, China. Coolest creature ever, the Fu Dog, guarding another ancient symbol. Their architecture looks the way it does because it can withstand a 9.5 earthquake. And while we use modern tech to figure out how that works, they used a jar that could detect the earthquakes. It's the very first one ever invented. All right, last one. If you shine a light on a Chinese magic mirror, it will show you the reflection of what's on the back of the mirror. And believe it or not, we are just scratching the surface.
Y'all, this is the reiteration video of what I was talking about, what I think of what the dark web is and how it's portals, right? And one of the things I said inside that video was that the internet or the dark web, the web, whatever we want to call it, is ancient technology because no one created it. If you go ask Google, Google is going to tell you that a group of scientists came together and developed it in the 1980s doing a CERN thing. Y'all just pause to read this and you'll see what I'm talking about. But if y'all fully do your research on the web, y'all, nobody created the web. They just figured out how to divert it or where to put it at. Y'all, the web is ancient technology. This is ancient technology. This is why you can't find out who created the internet. On a whole rabbit hole, they'll tell you about the scientists who developed on it, how the wires were built, the groups was going on, but it still does not answer the main question of who created the internet. And I'm not saying it's proving my point as in, oh, I'm right, it's ancient technology. It's just a POV that I'm saying, like, y'all, like, we have ancient technology inside this world, and the web is the biggest powerful one out of them all, and the web is way deeper than what we think it is. The web is used for more than just transactions or keeping up with people. Y'all, we could really use this. There's probably certain parts of the web where you could use it and you can teleport somewhere. You can talk to other beings. There's probably a broadcasting system so deep in the web that you could tap into. You can be talking to some shit you ain't never knew existed. Hey, I could just be a crazy person, y'all. It is what it is, y'all. I ain't see the beginning of the video, y'all. My name is Kendall. Drop it inside the comments. Me and you are now real-time friends.
Yeah, he could be right, honestly. It could be fallen angel technology, just a bunch of scientists come up together just to rebirth the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Until the next video, bye!
Hey, y'all wanted the last piece of the puzzle, and I'm telling you, nobody's going to understand it, no one's going to hear it, and everybody's going to think I'm insane, but I'll give it to you because why the heck not? Because this is fun. We're all having fun. This is all entertainment purposes only, and these are just puzzle pieces that people like me like putting together. So saying that, what if I were to tell you that all of everything stems back to Esau of the Bible, the cursed twin brother of Jacob who became Israel? And I know I sound crazy. I know I do. I know everyone's going to be like, there's no way. How are you going to do that? Yada, yada, yada. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. All the L's, they were all the descendants of the Amalek. Amalek is one of the sons or grandsons. I can't remember. There's too many names in my head. I'll learn too much in 72 hours. But saying that, it all goes back to Esau, the cursed brother of Jacob, being Israel. And everybody that says they are who they are aren't who they are. And the Catholic Church is at the heart of the reason Christianity is not what Christianity is supposed to be. And Jews aren't Jews. And there's a difference between Jews and Israelites, eggs. And there's a reason that Jews speak Yiddish. And there's a reason that the person that translated the New Testament into Yiddish can be traced to Stan Lee. And there's a reason that everybody believes in this Carneal law, which is the law of karma, where they have to tell you exactly what they're doing so they don't have bad karma upon them. And there's a reason the Simpsons seem to always predict the future. It's because they're not predicting the future, they're writing it. And there's a reason that since Stan Lee can be traced all the way back to the first person that translated it into Yiddish, there's a reason Marvel is one of the biggest series of all time, and there's a reason the highest grossing movie of all time, not just a Marvel series, but of all time, highest grossing, is a movie called Endgame. Endgame is a funny name, by the way, but what if I were to tell you all you have to do to figure out the puzzle is flip the script? Just flip the script of Endgame, really of all the Avengers. Because Endgame says that Thanos is the bad guy and the Avengers are the good guys. Well, the Avengers are a group of supernatural beings, almost like all the elves, and they're teaming up against this one supernatural being, Thanos, or maybe even God. You know how he snaps his fingers and everyone disappears, and it almost symbolizes the rapture? It's crazy. And then you remember after Endgame, when it ended, the series came out, and then the TVA was established in that show. And the TVA, what's their name? Time Variant Agency, Time Variant, something like that. Variant means to change, so Time Change Agency. And what is it like science has done? And they've told us that Earth is millions of years old and dinosaurs live millions of years old and all this other stuff, when none of that is true, but that's all that science is based off of. It's almost as if they changed the timeline, because the real timeline is Earth 6,000 years old and it's not a sphere. And I'm not really on the whole flat Earth thing, but I do think it's like more of a like a half globe. We can get into that in another video. That's not really a part of this, but saying that, it's also said that in those movie series that the TVA is more powerful than Thanos. One of the only things more powerful than Thanos. But it's funny because if Thanos is a god and it's supposed to symbolize God, and they are the Time Change Agency, that would simulate that God himself can be constrained and restricted by time. Which isn't true. You know why? Because time is man-made. God didn't make time. He made day and night. Man made the clock. So if they think they can defeat God by changing time or switching timelines or doing other things to escape him, because he is coming back and they know that, that's what they're afraid of. But anyways, yeah, that's their loophole. That's their way out, is to try and change the time so they don't have to go. But newsflash, God isn't restrained by time because it was made by man. I know that's really hard to understand because people like us aren't supposed to understand these things, but some people like building puzzles. I told you, I know I sound crazy. This is a really long video, so if you're still here, welcome. I'm sorry I opened up a bunch of these rabbit holes for you guys, but someone's got to do it, and I will. I'm not crazy. I'm very, very happy in my life. But yeah, they are all, every single one of them, they all go back to Esau through the Amalek. And the Catholic Church is the heart of it all. You're welcome.
Anybody know where the protein powder coming from? We have a surplus of protein powder, and we just take the word based off of the label that they package on it. So whatever it is ground up into powder, put into a package, and then they slap a label on it, ship it to you, and you consume it. And we trust in the brand of the label to have the utmost ethics, the utmost quality care with checks and balances to make sure that it is approved from the FDA. Where are they getting all the protein from?
You have to conquer your lust.
This video is one of the most important videos I'm ever gonna make. You have to conquer your lust. That goes both for men and women. I'm gonna be speaking for the majority of the video from a man's point of view because that is what I am. But this can also apply to the female counterpart because it is the same principle. Why do you have to control lust? It's quite simple. Because sexual energy is the most potent energy that we hold in our vessel. You see, sexual energy is creation energy. Because when you have sex with someone, you can bring life. And remember, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So that same energy that you release into the woman to create life, what do you think happens when you don't spill it inside of a woman or on yourself through touching yourself? You know what happens? It transmutes into creation energy and it shoots up your vertebrae into your brain. Kundalini. You see what I'm saying? So, something also that I wanted to mention. Did you know that sex is one of the only things in life that a man will sacrifice his reputation and his life? Now, what do I mean by that? Reputation. You ever heard of situations where a CEO has an entanglement with one of his co-workers while being married, and then he gets exposed for it, and now he lost his company and he loses his family? What do I mean by life? You've seen countless of situations where a guy is thinking with his smaller head and he's just trying to get one off, and then he ends up having intercourse with the wrong person, gets lined, gets his life taken away. But men don't think like this. In the moment, you're just thinking about the pleasure. One of the biggest pleasures in life is having sex. But you know what's also a very powerful energy and a very powerful essence that we go in and day out? Eating junk food. But you know what's bad for you, but you become addicted to it because it tastes amazing. Of course, hyper palatable. I said a couple of videos back. It's the same with sex. When you control your lust, you become a powerful man because now you cannot be swayed. Just because it looks good doesn't mean it's good for you. You start to strengthen your discernment because now you're not just falling for a pretty face or a pretty body. It's deeper than that. Now you require extra stuff in order to get the ball rolling, if you know where I'm going with it. You see, you always say that you want better for yourself. You always have New Year's resolutions. You want to get more money or get in better shape or start that business or just be a better human being overall. But you're lusting. And the problem is, you start to look at your counterpart, whether it's a female looking at a male or a male looking at a female, you start seeing people as just an object, and that's horrible because you're not going to get far with that mentality. You just see people for their body parts. When you know yourself, you've had a childhood, you have dream aspirations, we're deep creatures. And to reduce all those things to just simply a good-looking body or a good-looking face is asinine because you don't know what you could be missing out on. You see what I'm saying? You have to conquer the urges because we pay for food, we pay for water, we pay for housing, we pay for pretty much everything. But why are the sites, OF, the corn sites, why are they free? You know why they're free? Because you're the product. Because if they can get you in that loop and start frying your dopamine receptors, you're a numb zombie, only thinking with your lower half. No. You're living in a low vibration when all you think about is sex. And it's not really your fault. I'm not coming at you. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to instill some insight as to what you should be doing in your life because it's not even our fault. Because from a young age, what's one of the biggest status symbols? A guy that can get a lot of girls. When you're in middle school, high school. Oh, this person did such and such with this person. Oh, he's a man. It's priming you for damnation. And then the people that don't engage in those things, in hookup culture and all these things, they're seen as weird or boring. They've fried everything. They've turned it on its head. A real powerful person is the man or the woman that can hold their sexual energy because we all get urges. The same way you got the urge to eat, the urge to sleep, the urge to use the bathroom, you got the urge to procreate. But what happens when you sit with that energy and you transmute it into creation energy? You start to build the life that you've always wanted to build. Never forget that. You are more powerful than you think or than society leads you to believe. And once you can conquer your lust, you can conquer anything because a disciplined man and a sexually disciplined man is a dangerous man.
That is so true. That is so true. And everything he said there, some of the things I didn't agree with, but majority of it, I agreed 100%. When you control your lust, you control your mind, you control your perception, you control your standards for how you see a woman, not as an object, but as a valued human being that has a personality and a potential virtuous woman that you can marry. You know what I mean? 100%, I agree with that. And it starts with the mind, you know what I mean? Like every time you're getting approached by temptation, like what I usually do when I get approached with temptation, like lust, vanity, pride, ego, any of these things, insecurity as well, that's a big thing in my life. I just remind myself, let's say that I see a beautiful woman and I'm about to lust, right? I'm like, no, I have a wife. I have good things going for me in my life. That woman is beautiful, yes, but she shouldn't be objectified. So I repurpose things in my mind. I relabel things in my mind. I organize things in my mind. So then I build the habit to not even look that way. It says in the Bible, if your eye causes you to lust, pluck it out, flee from it, leave it, look the other way right away. That's how you build a discipline, right? And even if you do it in your mind, if you think of these things in your mind, you already done the act, right? If you think of doing something with a woman, you already done that act. So it's the eternal, you have to sanctify yourself, right? And that's where Yahusha comes in. If you pray, if you're consistently in the word, you can get away from these things. He will help you flee from these things ultimately, you know? And I've seen that in my life, and I'm sure the people watching have seen that in their lives as well, right? We need a helper, we need support, we need an extra hand. Because if we try to do it alone, we can succeed for a little while, then we'll dip down. You know, what he's trying to tell us, Yahusha, is that he's trying to keep us on a steady flow of these fruits being grown in our lives. Because he said, I am the vine and you are the branch, right? So he is the support system and we are the branch that carries the fruit. So we need him so we can carry fruit and more fruit. He won't be satisfied with a couple of fruits, you know? When a tree grows and it grows, there's more than one fruit on that tree. There's at least like over 100 fruits on that tree. He wants to give us that, right? Really good point that this guy's talking about, honestly.
Yeah, I love you. We are one.
So this is wild. There are people right now in the Amazon jungle and they came across what they believe to be a structure in the middle of the jungle.
Galera, nós tá chegando aqui, ó. Cara, é até lá em cima. Vamos subir ali, ó. Caramba, mano, será que tem não a cidade perdida do Amazonas? Ratanambá, sei lá. Galera, cansei.
So they climb this place and they find an entrance to what they believe to be this ancient lost world. The same world that Percy Fawcett was looking for in the 1900s when he went to the Amazon jungle looking for it and never returned. And there's something weird going on inside this place. As always, I'm pretty curious about this kind of stuff, so as I was digging around, I found this insane rabbit hole. Kind of connects the possibility of these ancient civilizations.
Hold on, y'all. Gotta check the time, because I got work soon. Okay, it's 1:42. We are good on time.
Having some sort of connection through a network of underground tunnels. And this could possibly explain why there are certain places in the Amazon forest that are completely restricted and a no-access zone.
Existe lugar controlado pelo exército chamado Quadrilátero Maldito. O nome, você já pode ter uma ideia, né?
The question is if this lost city of the Amazon forest actually exists and if it is somehow connected to other ancient cities throughout the world. Who built this? An advanced civilization? Possibly aliens?
There was a Spanish explorer who went down the Amazon River system in 1541 to 1542. He was the first European to cross the entire length of South America from west to east along the Amazon. He reported seeing incredible cities, advanced arts and crafts, millions of people, a thriving culture.
My uncle also told him that where the water is very deep, they also go into the water and transforms it to something else.
Now, of course, this is just a myth, but now that we have LiDAR technology and that we actually found massive structures hidden within the Amazon forest, this might all just change.
Yeah, why does it look like... That's crazy.
I just witnessed the craziest shit while I was just watching the Artemis 2 live stream. I cannot believe this shit, y'all. You cannot make this up. They really just did this, bruh. So a lady started talking that was from the control center. And she started saying, in 30 minutes or 20 minutes, the crew will be waking up from the Artemis capsule. They're going to be waking up. And as she says that, 3 big ass lights shine from the capsule. And she goes, "What was that?" And I type in the chat, "What the hell was those lights?" And somebody under me wrote, she said, "What was that?" Laugh out loud. So I went back and tried to see the lights again because this is live, and they scrapped it. The first time I went back, they only showed 1 beam of light, but then they scrapped what she said. So then I went back again a couple minutes later, and they scrapped the whole shit. The lights is gone, and what she said is gone. Y'all, look at this shit. Mind you, y'all, this is the first time I went back because I said, I gotta see those lights again. Listen.
In just under 30 minutes from now, actually 24 minutes and counting, the crew will be waking up.
And the sound.
Currently.
So like I said, watching it live, like the light you seen with that sound. And the lady goes, "What was that?" And I wrote in the chat. But the second time I go back, you don't even see the lights no more, and you don't hear what she say at all. But you can see what I wrote in the chat and the other dude wrote. As y'all can see, I wrote, "What was that light?" Somebody under me said, "What was that?" She
Minutes
said,
and 40
laugh out
TLI
loud.
or trans 1,000 miles. Crew will be waking up. Hours 44. This is Mission Control Houston in the Artemis Flight Control Room at the Johnson Space Center. We are at a mission elapsed time of a 1 day, 17-hour time.
It's gone. I try to go back again. It's gone.
If your favorite soda is Coca-Cola, you need to listen to this video. $1.1 billion deal with Microsoft and Coca-Cola. But why would they do that? This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. If you're drinking Coca-Cola right now, you should probably save this video and watch it again. Curious to know your thoughts in the comments section.
Raise your eyebrows.
Coca-Cola just signed a 5-year, $1.1 billion deal with Microsoft. 5 years ago, it was discovered that there were fluorescent nanoparticles in Coca-Cola. Now, if I were a conspiracy theorist, I might think there were more to this partnership.
Now, according to reports, Microsoft and the Coca-Cola Company have announced a 5-year strategic partnership to align Coca-Cola's core technology strategy system-wide. So it is said to enable the adoption of leading-edge technology and foster innovation and productivity globally. Using Azure Open AI service, Coca-Cola is currently exploring the use of generative AI-powered digital assistants. Now, did you know they have found nanotechnology in Coca-Cola and in Pepsi products? Have a look at this. The biodistribution study in major organs indicated that the NPs were easily accumulated in the digestive tract, and they were able to cross the blood-brain barrier and dispersed into the brain. Questions, and of course suspicions, have been raised in recent years.
Why is it that when I think a positive thought, it's, I know I can do this, I've done this before. But when it's a negative thought, it's, you're not gonna make it, you don't know what you're doing. Why is the positive I and the negative is you? Is that even me talking? Or is that someone or something else? Like, help me out here. Is this just me?
Really good point. It's really.
Did you hear about?
Oh, we gotta talk about that. That was really good. I'm probably just gonna rephrase what he said, but the I is the positive and the negative is you. And a lot of the times, if you could just rewire your brain and to think like once, because there's a spiritual world, 100%. I believe in it. There's a spiritual realm, and these demonic entities are trying to install and prompt things in our minds, right? And they always talk from another person's perspective, like you can't do that, you can't do that, and it just whispers into your mind, you know. And it's just about like turning those things down right away, you know, and just saying I can do that, I'm able to do that. I have the confidence to do that, you know? And if we just see those negative affirmations that come up randomly in our minds, to see it as an attack from the external, then our minds will start to change and rewire itself so much. And I know it's hard. Because like all day, sometimes we're having eternal dialogues with ourselves, you know, and we're trying to shut that other voice up, you know. And it could be hard because sometimes we can listen to that other voice and mistaking it as our own voice. You know what I mean? But so it's about like just recognizing its language, you know, and we can shut it down. But that's a really good point, man. Wow, that was deep.
This. It seems that I have taken myself down a very large rabbit hole because I just came across a TikTok that said the Bible tells you how to heal yourself from all sickness and diseases, Matthew 17:21. So me, naturally the Bible reading obsession woman that I am, I turn to Matthew 17:21 to read it in the Bible that I read every day. It's not here. It goes from Matthew 17:20 to Matthew 17:22.
No way.
21's not in here. There's not a number 21 in here. So, we got 2 more. I opened them up to see if they are in here. They are in fact in these ones. This is the KJV, and then this one is the NKJV, so New King James Version. This, Matthew 17:21, Jesus tells us in his words, because it's in red, because I don't know if you know this, but in a lot of old Bibles, if it's in red, that means Jesus said it in his words. Howbeit this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting. We open this one up. Matthew 17:21. Oh, that is a huge problem. I'm sorry, Jesus. We have to fix that. Matthew 17:21, and these are in red also. 17:21, in red again. However, this kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting. So Jesus literally tells us from day one, and this is how corrupt the government and the USA and everybody that's involved is, because Jesus literally tells us in his words, fast and pray, and you will be healed from sickness and diseases. The government don't want us to know that though, so they took it out the Bible.
I'm keen to hear your thoughts, so let me know in the comments. And if you love...
That's so true. That's so true. That's why we go to the corner store, we go to the grocery store, we go to the pharmacy to get a quick remedy, like a bandage for our disease, knowing that sometimes it goes away, but it doesn't mean it doesn't linger inside your body and it can reappear again. But when Yahusha, when he says to pray and fast for these diseases to go away, he means like these things will go away. Like they won't come back. You know what I mean? So there's 2 different types, you know, and I think that we should all try to do that and seek fasting, even though fasting could be difficult, but just do it to the extent that you feel like you're sacrificing something for our Heavenly Father, you know. It could be just like waking up in the morning and not eating until like 5 p.m. Already that's sacrifice right there. You're going to feel hunger. You're going to feel something. If you don't, then props to you, you know, but you're going to feel something. And if you're just doing it for the intent to get rid of something in your life or bring someone closer to Yahuwah, or for finances, all these things, they will happen. Even for disease and cancer, it will happen. You know what I mean? But yeah, super important. I seen a lot of things come out of fasting. Even though it didn't come right away, eventually it came, you know? Like my faith grew, you know, and more my understanding of our Heavenly Father grew, more of reliance on our Heavenly Father grew, you know, but yeah.
Daily content that builds up your faith, follow or subscribe right now.
Okay, let's make this make sense, because I don't think you're understanding it. So let me put it in perspective for you. Your heart, touch your heart. Your heart beats on its own.
Fine.
Right? Right. Touch your stomach. Your digestive system operates on its own. right? Let's sit in silence for 5 seconds and try not to think. Try not to have a thought.
I failed.
So your brain thinks. These thoughts are produced on their own. So why the fuck do you think that the body needs you to operate?
Good point. Good point.
And really listen to what the fuck I just said. Why do you think the body does everything? It regenerates on its own. It does everything on its own. Why do you think it needs you to move around, to talk? Why do you think it needs you? And who am I talking to if you are the body? If you are the body that's doing all this and it doesn't need you, who is you? The awareness. The one that's watching this video on this box. Not the body, not the human. Oh, because you, the one I'm really talking to, you've never seen your face before. Can you see your face right now? No. You never have, because you don't have one. The body that is maneuvering through this life, through space-time, you're aware of it. It's your interaction tool. Your interaction tool. Your senses, all it. They're not yours. You're aware of it. You are the game, not the human. You're each perspective, each building, each car, each scenario, each coincidence. It's you playing your own game, peeping shit. You're not the human. It doesn't need you, fucking ego, who's scared to see beneath the veil. It doesn't need you. It doesn't care how pussy you are or how you don't want to accept it. We don't care. You're playing the game, and you aren't the player. You're the game. Peace and love to the conscious man. 3K out.
W video. I told y'all this is gonna be a fire video, but I'm gonna have to cut it short because I got work. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. Drop a sub and like if you like this type of content, and go to the comments down below. Check my email out. Send your videos in for a shout out. I want to start giving out shout outs randomly. For the next video, I'm gonna shout out a few people who've been commenting. So if you comment down below what was your favorite video and why, then you get a free shout out. There you go. Without further ado, guys, take care and may Yahuwah bless you.